Okay. Okay, we're recording. Look a little crazy right now. I just got back home from Pilates and took a shower, but I wanted to kind of play around in Ableton for a little bit and just record whatever I got going on. So this is my production equipment. I mean, it's pretty simple for the most part. We got my laptop in Ableton. And then I have my Shure SM7B, and then for my preamp I use this Triton. Yeah, no, I just got this off of Amazon because I didn't want to pay for a cloud lifter. And this was like 80 bucks. And got my Focusrite. This is just a solo. I don't have the two and two. I have this one song that I have been working on. I have been really just trying to I have been trying to like put this track together for a really long time, and I can't seem to like get it right. I don't know what it is about the track, but I mean, I definitely think like the idea is there, the concept is there, but I just don't know. I haven't really like mixed my vocals into tracks yet. That's still something that I'm figuring out. So yeah, let's see where I left off anyways and see what we can do from here, because I am afraid to play this. I don't think it's gonna be good at all. Yeah, let's see. Oh, that sounds awful. Okay, I don't think this was the one I was working on. I might need to just like open it up again and like re-record my vocals and everything like that, because I'm not even really sure what the concept like or what the key or anything is that I want. Show me how do you move, how do you. Some of these are like already like super processed in the worst ways possible. So yeah. Oh, this was before I had my preamp. Okay, yeah, no, I'm definitely gonna need to re-record this. How do you move? How do you breathe? How do you find the air between heaven and hell? Okay, let's start with 123 maybe, for the BPM. Let me just hear. How do you move? How do you breathe? How do you... No, I want it faster. How do you move? How do you breathe? How do you find the air between heaven and hell? Would that be the suffocates me? Okay, yeah, I think I like 143. Where's my phone? I wrote these lyrics down so long ago that I don't even know if I really like them. I wrote this song when I was like in the middle of having a panic attack. Okay, so I want to do this in probably G sharp minor. So let's just record the audio first. There we go. How do you move? How do you breathe? Okay. How do you move? How do you breathe? Oh wait, it's not even playing. My bad, my bad. Okay, we can probably keep that. It wasn't bad. Okay. How do you move? How do you breathe? How do you find the air between heaven and hell? I still just kind of want to play around with like just processing my vocals and then adding like pads and atmosphere to it. Well, let's just process this a little bit then. I always like to put a little bit of reverb. How do you move? How do you breathe? How do you find the air between heaven and hell? right now I am really just chopping everything up. Seeing how I kind of want the tempo and everything to go. I like to take my breaths out just because I feel like I breathe a lot. Let's add a saturator. Okay, so I think let's leave that alone and let's start building a pad. So I'm gonna take Wavetable and build a little pad out of this. Okay, that just does not sound good. Okay, my bad. The camera started overheating, so it turned off. I laid down the kick, I processed that. Okay, let's process this kick just a little bit more. So this is what I did. I like resampled the vocals a little bit and just took like the reverb and delay tails from like some of the words in there. And so then this is what we came up with. Let me turn this off. And then this is like a reverse like little intro into it. And that's what we've got so far, but I like it. It is another night that we're working on this track. I think I want to keep like the little section that I made as an intro, and then I want to build on it, make some drums. I want to like kind of make like a break section with my vocals in it where it's like the full vocal. So yeah, I'm gonna get to work on that. Okay, so let's duplicate the kick. And then I want to add in some hi-hats. I added like this little trance pad gate getter to this, and this is what it sounds like. You can hear that. So yeah, I added that and then I layered it with the other atmosphere that I had. So this is what it sounds like together. But I think I might take it out. We'll see. Okay, so let me add in some hi-hats. Okay, and then what I think I want to do, okay, so I'm gonna make my 909 my like main hat. And I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna like slowly start adding in some of these layers, or not like all of them, but like a couple of them, so that there's some variation. Get started. Today is 8/8. It's the Lionsgate portal, and so I'm like, what a perfect day to just be working on a track that I really want to get some progress on. Wait, let's see what this sounds like. Okay, so I just made a bass line out of what should I call it? Wavetable. So I just did a, can you guys see this? So I just did a saw wave, brought the frequency down, like the filter frequency down, changed the amp so that it's like more of a plucky sound. So fast attack, fast decay, and sustain, and then basically you don't need any release. Put it in mono, then I put some overdrive on it. I'm not liking how this sounds. So this is gonna be more of a mid bass because I have like this little subby part of the kick, which is like kind of a rumble, kind of not. But because I like to have these in here and I like to have all this sub from this, I made this more of a mid bass. I think I'm gonna cut out everything around 60, but I think I'm gonna bring this down a little bit more if I'm gonna. I think I'm only gonna do like 30 more minutes on this track for the night, and then I'm just gonna read a little bit before I sleep. Let's just listen to the kick, the bass, and the drums, because I fear that those sound awful. You know what it needs? Some of these claps need some like reverb on them. Yeah, so then we'll repeat that. Repeat. There we go. Love. Okay. Just ignore the skincare. I'm like really greased up. But I am profusely sorry because I completely forgot. I kind of dropped the ball and I completely forgot I was recording my process of this track. I have been working on it for a really long time now. I will say that. I feel like it's almost there. It's not just quite there yet. And I was kind of just focused more so on the production process than anything else. But I can't remember where I left off as far as recording goes. But I did add this like little lead over here. So there's that. What else did I add? Oh, I added these like kind of operatic little vocals. So I added that. I put together a lot of the arrangement so far. It's not completely done yet, so still recording the process of it. Again, it's almost there. It's just not quite. So I do want to try and finish it soon. My goal is by the end of the weekend. If not the end of the weekend, then I'll give myself like another 2 weeks, because just astrologically I want to release it at the right time. So yeah, but I think I'll just start with like a quick little run through, like a recap, so that you guys can hear where it's at now, and then we'll go from there, and I'll start building and kind of give some explanation on the track. But here's what the track sounds like so far. This is a section I still need to work on. Keep it in mind. So I'm still playing around with a lot of things. Like the ending, I'm not 100% sure on yet. And that second drop is just not where I want it to be. So those are like the two main things that I've been focusing on as far as like finishing this track goes. But everything else I feel like is in a place where I like it so far. And I do apologize for the clipping. I have so many things going on in this track, and like there's so many plugins, and like my CPU is just like it's not having a good time. Like I have an M2 processor. So I was looking back, I think I've been working on this track since August. It is now January. So it's been August, September, October, December, January. It's been like 6 months. Yeah, no, I need to finish this track this month. Realistically, because I did take that break off during Mercury retrograde, and I haven't been working on it consistently for these past 6 months. I would say it's been more so like 4 months. That's not any better. But I think I'm almost there, you know? Like I think I'm almost there. It's just like little finishing touches. It's the second drop now, and it's the end of the track, and just like little finishing touches, and then I think I'll be golden. I don't currently have any ideas for the second drop, and I'm still figuring out the final drop and the outro. But again, like it kind of goes hand in hand with like where I am in life. So I'm like, maybe I just need to go through life and then I'll get the ideas. I don't know. As far as the second drop goes, I'm trying to just like remember the feeling of like how it felt to be in that space where it was like reintegrating myself into society as like a spiritual person, because it did feel weird, you know? It's like I didn't have like nothing was the same. Nothing was the same after. But I don't know. I'm like, because I don't want the entire like track to speak on my spiritual journey, but I feel like it's just kind of ended up there. As far as like the lyrics themselves, I don't know if I want to keep that little snippet at the end, just because it's really dark and I feel like it's a little depressing, and I don't know if it's like representative of like the space that I'm in now, you know? Like when I wrote it, I was like mid panic attack. And so I don't know if it like gives the energy of a panic attack, but I was like mid panic attack. I was like, oh my God, like I can't move, I can't breathe. Like that's how I was like, how do you move? How do you breathe? How do you find the air between? And like, I just don't know if I really want to like immortalize like the feelings or like the words and like the lyrics from the last little section that I have right now in the outro, just because they are a little darker, and like I don't know if it's one of those things where like if I keep it in there it's like immortalizing it, or if it's like a final release of it and being like, here, like let me just get rid of these emotions, you know? And that's where I'm like kind of on the fence about them. So I don't know, I'm just thinking about that, because I was thinking about SZA actually, because I feel like, I don't want to say that her songs are negative, but they're not exactly like positive affirmation songs, you know? But she was talking about how like she had seen like a psychic or something, I don't remember, but how they were talking about her album and how it was like, she was like, you're not going to like relate to the album once you release it. And I do feel like sometimes when you are creating something, it's like a release of emotions, but then it's also like if you're constantly listening to it and like playing it back and like reliving it, then I feel like it can still put you into those emotions. And I just don't know if I want that, you know? So that's where I'm kind of on the fence about it, but I'll figure it out. I'll figure it out for sure. I feel like this track is gonna be like, it just feels big to me. Like, even if nothing ends up coming out of it, like, it just feels like an important track to me. Like, it seems like something that I needed to make and release and like get out there. So I'm excited to finish it up and share it, honestly. The way that I like kind of plans it all out and the way that I did it is each section, I think I kind of like briefly went over this, but each section is essentially like a point in my life in a way, where it's like the intro, and I think it's also just like the process of awakening in a way. So the intro is kind of like pre-awakening, like you're on autopilot, like things are just kind of like moving you and you're not really questioning it, and it's just like you're there, but like things are building up to get to like where the first break is, where like you kind of have like your first moment of clarity in a sense with awakening, or it's like when you have your awakening moment and you feel like you're getting a lot of information like coming at you really fast, and so that's why like the vocals are really fast in that section. And then with the second drop, it's kind of like that post awakening, where it's like you aren't really sure what to do with this information yet. You're trying to integrate it. You're like, you have the knowledge, you have those little bits and pieces of like what you need to know in a way, but it's like it's not fully integrated yet. And so it's like, that's why the second drop is the way that it is. It's like it's trying to find that like embodiment, but you're not fully there yet. And then with the second break, where it's like you have like the operatic vocals and everything like that, I feel like is like the second awakening, because I feel like, at least for me, I don't think everybody goes through 2 awakenings, but I have, or at least I'm going through the second awakening right now. And like the first awakening was like there was just a lot of information coming at me all at once, whereas like the second one is like things are a little slower, it's taking its time, it's building up. And then the final drop is like kind of that full embodiment, but it's like I haven't fully gotten there yet. Like I'm getting there, like personally, but I just haven't gotten there yet. And so that's why it's like I just feel like the final drop just isn't quite there yet. But I feel like I'm not going to get to that point until maybe even after this track, or after the next, or after the next, you know? So I can't really say when that's gonna happen. And so I'm like, I want to get this track out there, you know? Like I don't really want to sit on it for too much longer. And I think it's pretty much there. And then I decided to keep in that little extra vocal at the end, because I do feel like it's a good final release. And so I'm like, you know what, I'll leave it for now. But I don't know if I kind of want to do an extended version, because when I first made this track, it was so much longer. It was like 7 minutes. I'm at 5 minutes 30 seconds right now, and I think it was 7 minutes 30 seconds. And so I definitely feel like I can make an extended version of this. So I'm like, maybe I should. So I added this little like glitchy like vocal chop over here. So yeah, I added that like right before the vocal delay, just to add like kind of like the sense that like you yourself are glitching. Because again, like if you remember what I said about the second drop, is like you're like still integrating, but like you're not there yet. And then what else did I add? I changed up the bass to match the bass chord, or like the bass note in the chords, just because I feel like the bass was really static, and I didn't like how there was like almost little to no movement, even though I tried to add a lot of movement in a way. But in the same sense, I feel like I didn't want this track to have too much movement. Like I wanted it to be enough that's like appealing to the listener, like enough movement so that you're not like bored while you're listening to it, but not like so much, just because I feel like to me it kind of represents like just being in like that state of being stuck in a sense, where it's like, unfortunately that's where I'm at. Maybe I shouldn't be doing that so that I can manifest getting out of this. But anyways, I didn't love how the bass was so static, so I was like, let me change that up a little bit and let me add some movement. And so I changed them to match the bass notes, and I do feel like I like that a lot better. And then did I add anything else? I don't think so. I think I just added CLA vocals to, or like CLA effects to my vocals. But I'm trying to think. I don't know. I'm not gonna lie, I uploaded my tracks to ChatGPT and get ChatGPT to give me feedback on them, and it was like, your track doesn't feel like it's breathing, or like something like that in a sense. But I was like, I feel like that's kind of the point. Like the fact that this is about like me having a panic attack, not being able to breathe, writing the song, kind of coming out of the panic attack with that, but it's like to still emulate the feeling of a panic attack. I feel like it works. I don't know. Y'all let me know. And y'all can listen to the track on SoundCloud and leave me any feedback. I'm still a pretty amateur producer, so I can definitely use some tips and tricks. So any feedback is appreciated.